situations like what's been happening across the country from happening here in Houston. I do believe that the majority of our police officers do work hard every day to ensure that our streets are free from crime and to ensure that the laws are being enforced. But another thing that we can do is have a citizens police advisory board where when there is an instance of a police officer whose actions are questionable, the community is able to look into these records and to look into the evidence to see what's happening. This is something that can simply be done by having a representative from each neighborhood to come forth and to review everything that's happening with the police department. As a law student and future attorney, I do believe strongly in the system and I understand the system. And I do understand that this problem won't go away overnight and that this is a cultural problem as well as it is an internal problem. But I think together as a community, with my colleagues here in the back and with you all and all your hard work, that Houston can continue to be the great and shining city that it was. I love representing it, and I commend you all for the work that you are doing and for your listening to us and your willingness to work with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Your time at this problem.
Sure, Grace, Councilmember started.
Well said. I think your presentation was very professional and right on. I think there's a lot of things that on both sides of the equation need to come to the table. I think the body cameras are a tool that would help on both sides to be accountable. I think what you said as far as the culture, there's a culture change because even in my neighborhood, it's not the folks from the neighborhood. We have to show respect to our levels of authority in the system in order for those coming up that want to be a part of the system. Right now, I think a lot of young people are looking at, why would I want to be a police officer? Why? Why do I want to be a police officer?
That's true. That's the truth. It's the truth.
To some degree or some level, there are bad apples in every industry and every group of people across this world, and we can't throw them all into the bus, but we have to raise it up. I'd love to hear your opinion on how we can show respect and give the minorities or whoever, everyone that wants to become a police officer, everyone who wants to raise up our police officers to the point that everyone wants to be a police officer and be proud of our city and be a shining star. And I think it still is a shining star.
Yes, definitely it is. And to your point, the same way that you all are active in your communities and the districts that you personally represent, so we are able to grow up and watch you all and see the work that you all do. When you have an officer that is directly from your neighborhood, policing that area, and you say, I went to this high school, I went to this elementary school, and you can do the exact same thing as well. One, it builds the trust because they can relate to that person, and it also allows them to police that area better because they understand the neighborhood. And I understand that every single police officer can't directly be policing their neighborhood, but I think we can definitely encourage AC to place more people, especially placing police officers of color in neighborhoods where there are these racial tensions and where you do have more minorities living there.
I also think there's a question I have about shifting documents every 2 years.
Yes.
Once when you talk about term limits and mastering the job, they finally master, they'll get to know the community, build a relationship, and then they're moving.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of things that need to be brought to the table and a lot of more conversations to be had. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Chair, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Bradford.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your broader perspective on the issue, because body cameras, as announced today, may still be as far as 1 year away before they are implemented. What is your position on what I call cultural competence, where you have neighborhood officers working in the neighborhood, and we can't require officers, nor should we require officers to live in the state of Houston, I don't support that, but we should have a radius from downtown Houston, you must live within a certain radius, and we should pay officers incentives, I think, for them to live in certain zip codes. Right. You live where you want to live, but if you live in this zip code, we pay you incentive pay. Officers go out because they want master plan communities, better school districts, and better quality homes. But what is your take on neighborhood officers, cultural competence, and incentive pay for officers to live in certain zip codes?
I think that there should be measures taken to incentivize officers to want to actually stay in their neighborhood, to encourage them to want to stay in their neighborhood, whether that is providing them more support if they're in a neighborhood that is not, that has more problems than another neighborhood, which will make it not as favorable to a police officer. So to provide more support to them, as well as to make sure that you're involving all of the community to ensure that they have all the help that they need, because it's not just the police officers ensuring that the community members are doing well, it's the community ensuring that we are doing well, so that the police officers don't have to have these situations like that.
Thank you. And if you work hard or finish law school, we need more lawyers. We need you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to recognize Councilman Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Dory, you are so impressive. I mean, this is I'm very impressed. Okay, and you had it, you were prepared, you presented it well, and thought out the case. I do want you to know, like in District B, we have a gentleman who, as my colleague Councilman Brad talked about, and I want to thank and commend the mayor's detail. Gentleman driver, Jack Bailey, he still lives in South Park, and he loves the neighborhood. And we, you know, he's been there and he's taken it, but I totally agree that if we can create some kind of out-of-the-box incentive program to encourage them to come and stay, because most things there.
We don't have enough time, sorry, Councilman. You're not the only one, we have a city gas policy in the back too, okay? Okay, that's a city gas.
Good.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam Secretary.
And the next speaker is.
Way to go, girlfriend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rouse.
She was remarkable for a melanated woman. Johnn Noflin. And I'm out.